All right, so tonight, the entire global market is pretty much holding its breath for one single event. We're talking about a real moment of truth for the company that's right at the heart of the whole AI revolution. So let's dive into this because, seriously, what happens in just a few hours could basically define the rest of the year for anyone invested in tech.
You know, it really all boils down to this one question. I mean, for the last 2 years, we've all been riding this incredible wave, right? But now the market's starting to ask, is this for real? Is this a sustainable supercycle of growth? Or have we just been living through the biggest hype cycle in like a generation? Well, tonight, we're finally going to get our first real clue.
So to really get a feel for the tension in the air right now, you've got to look at what's happened in just the last 48 hours. It has been a total case of market whiplash. I mean, a real battle between extreme fear and then suddenly renewed hope. And it's all just setting the stage for tonight's main event.
Okay, so on Monday, it felt like the floor just fell out from under the market. It was a brutal, system-wide sell-off. And the story everyone was telling was that the AI boom was finally hitting a wall. But then, get this, just 24 hours later, on Tuesday, bam! A massive rebound. Confidence came flooding back in. But that deep, underlying question, yeah, that never really went away.
And these numbers, they just perfectly show that comeback. You had the S&P and the NASDAQ both jumping back up, but check out that last bar. The VIX, Wall Street's fear index, it dropped a massive 7%. That's a huge signal that the panic was dialing way, way down. So what caused this sudden change of heart? Well, it really came down to one major piece of news. A deal so big, it basically single-handedly shut down the story that companies were starting to pull back on AI spending. It was just this clear, powerful signal that the great AI build-out, oh yeah, it's still full steam ahead.
And here is the number that completely changed the mood: 6 gigawatts. I mean, just think about that. That's the absolutely massive scale of a multi-year deal between AMD and Meta for their AI data center GPUs. You just can't fake a number that big. The market saw that and went, okay, the biggest players are definitely still spending billions.
Which brings us to, well, right now. After all that chaos, this sort of eerie calm has settled over the markets. Sure, Tuesday's rally gave everyone a bit of relief, but everybody knows it was just the opening act. Now, the world is just waiting.
I mean, right now, if you look at U.S. futures, they're basically flat. Nobody's making a big move. It's like the entire world is in a holding pattern. Every trader, every algorithm, every major fund is just laser-focused on the one thing that's going to break this deadlock: NVIDIA's earnings report.
And here we are. Look, this is not just another earnings report. This is the single most important financial event of the entire season, period. What NVIDIA announces tonight is going to send shockwaves through the entire system.
So as you can see, what Wall Street is expecting for the fourth quarter, it's just astronomical. We're talking a $65 to $66 billion quarter. In any other situation, these would be the numbers everyone was obsessed with.
But not tonight. And here's the crucial point. As incredible as those past results are, the market is already looking right past them. For tonight's reaction, what NVIDIA did last quarter is almost irrelevant compared to what it says it's going to do next.
And it all comes down to one simple concept: forward guidance. Basically, this is NVIDIA's own forecast for its performance in the upcoming quarter. It's the closest thing we have to a crystal ball for the market, and believe me, it is the one thing everyone will be listening for.
And this is the magic number. Somewhere in that $72 to $75 billion range, that's the revenue guidance for Q1 that the market needs to hear. If CEO Jensen Huang gets on that call and delivers a number in this range or even higher, the market's going to take that as confirmation. The AI supercycle is real and it is firing on all cylinders. So this sets up two very clear, very different potential futures. And the crazy part is, it's all going to be decided in just a matter of hours. The verdict from this one single earnings call will send the market down one of two very distinct paths. All right, let's break it down. On one hand, you have the bull case. NVIDIA beats and gives strong guidance. The stock could absolutely rocket up, maybe 5 to 12%, and pull the whole tech market up with it. On the other hand, the bear case. A miss, or even just cautious guidance. That's the hype check. The stock could fall hard, maybe 8 to 15%, wiping out Tuesday's rally and sending everyone running for the exits. And believe me, the fallout isn't just going to stop with NVIDIA's stock price. Oh no. The results of this call will have a massive ripple effect. It's going to touch some of the biggest economic and tech stories playing out across the globe right now. There are really three big themes sitting on a knife's edge here. First, that whole AI spending narrative we've been talking about. NVIDIA's report is the final verdict. Second, there's this growing unease about potential new global tariffs. A big market sell-off would just pour gasoline on those fears. And finally, you've got Bitcoin, which is already on shaky ground. A risk-off move in tech could easily be the thing that pushes Bitcoin below its critical $60,000 floor.
So here we are. After a wild week of volatility and a day of tense calm, the moment has finally arrived. Nothing is settled yet. The countdown to what might be the most anticipated earnings call in recent memory, it ends tonight.
You know, the wisest piece of advice I've heard for a moment like this is actually really simple. Trade the reaction, not the hope. Don't gamble on what you want to happen. Wait for the numbers, listen to the guidance, and trade the reality of how the market actually reacts.
So, it all comes down to this. One company, one conference call. Is this going to be the moment that confirms the AI-powered future we've all been talking about? Or is it the reality check the market has been secretly fearing? We are all about to find out.